Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nithmini De Silva.
Newsfirst headline.
Employees of several departments of the public service launched trade union actions based on several demands. Navy sailor dies during arrest of Indian fisherman. In news overseas, WikiLeaks founder freed after 5 years in prison. And in cricket, Afghanistan qualified for the first World Cup semi-final. The news in detail. Employees of several departments of the public service are engaged in trade union actions based on various issues, including salaries. The Joint Committee of Government Executive Officers is engaged in a sick leave campaign today and tomorrow. The Joint Committee of Executive Officers consists of executive government officers of 18 professions, including state engineer, inland revenue, accountants, education administration, system development, technical education, teacher educator, veterinary, agriculture, fisheries, and labour commissioners. Non-academic staff of schools across the island are also engaged in a sick leave campaign today based on several demands. Secretary of the Education Non-Academic Employees Union, Ajit K. Tilakaratne, said a protest was also held in Gampaha today in line with the sick leave campaign. The indefinite Satyagraha campaign launched by the university non-academic staff is ongoing for a 6th day. The Satyagraha campaign was launched following the 55-day strike. Union members are engaged in a Satyagraha campaign opposite several universities, including Uvavellasa and Ruhuna universities. A special discussion was held today regarding the issues faced by university non-academic staff between the State Salary Committee chaired by former Presidential Secretary Udaya Senaviratne. In more local news, all principals have been informed to obtain support from the students' parents in order to maintain academic activities at schools due to the ongoing trade union action launched by non-academic staff at schools. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Tilakajaya Sundara, says principals were informed to implement a suitable program to continue academic activities at schools without interruption. The Ministry of Education requested the Secretary of Defence to urgently prepare a suitable program to ensure security at schools and colleges due to the ongoing trade union actions. The request was made in writing by the Secretary to the Ministry of Education. The letter requests Civil Security Service to provide it for schools at night and to provide food for students staying at the hostels and in schools and colleges. A request was also made to the Secretary of the Ministry of Public Security to provide special security in all state universities. In other local news, during an operation to apprehend a group of Indian fishermen engaged in fishing activities in the Delft Seas, a Navy sailor tragically lost his life. The deceased was a 40-year-old Chief Petty Officer residing in the Ibagamo area. According to Navy spokesman Captain Gan Vikramasuriya, the accident occurred due to the hazardous handling of the Indian poaching vessel by its crew while attempting to board it from the Navy vessel. The body of the deceased Navy sailor has been transported to the Jaffna Hospital. Earlier today, the Navy arrested 10 Indian fishermen for violating the country's territorial waters.
International news.
After a years-long legal saga, WikiLeaks says that founder Julian Assange has left the UK after reaching a deal with US authorities that will see him plead guilty to criminal charges and go free. Assange was charged with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. For years, the US has argued that the WikiLeaks files, which disclosed information about the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, endangered lives. He spent the last 5 years in a British prison from where he was fighting extradition to the US.
Sports news.
Afghanistan qualified for the semi-finals of a World Cup for the first time by beating Bangladesh by 8 runs in a tense, low-scoring classic in St. Vincent. The victory sees them progress as runners-up from Super 8's Group 1 while knocking Bangladesh as well as heavyweights Australia out of the tournament. They will now play South Africa and Trinidad on Thursday and are on one match away from facing either defending T20 champions England or India in Saturday's final. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nithmini De Silva.